Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Cookiecast. Today on Cookiecast, it's the firm favourite of the fans, the BScast. Today, myself, Paul Williams and James Panas are joined by a very special guest. I'll leave you to work out who that might be. But yeah, this is Cookiecast BScast.
That's just all my balls.
All my balls out.
That's all my dick and balls.
D&B. That is not recording.
Which one?
God damn it, Karen.
Goddamn whore. You shut your whore mouth. Welcome to another exciting installation
Of mobile phone.
of Motherfuckers
You
Be Crazy.
started without warning me.
That's how we get you.
Motherfuckers Be Crazy. I'm just looking at the next permanent manager of the Middlesbrough.
Joe Barton?
Don't work as well as the Arsenal, does it?
Joe Barton.
Jonathan Woodgate, 11 to 10. George Seamow, 6 to 4.
John.
What's that? You're looking at me as if you don't know who George Seamow is.
All I got there was John Sentimo.
The Archbishop of York.
Yeah.
To be fair, do you know what? We'll probably still do a better job than Tony Pulis.
Hey.
Mark it down. I think we got through the entire last football podcast without me saying Tony Pulis once.
He's gone now. It's not.
Doesn't
really-
matter.
He's gone. He's a second thought.
You're going to JT, aren't you?
You can fuck off.
John Terry. He's going to suit up.
Full kit.
Full kit. Where you go?
Oh, can you imagine? The only way you can top that full kit wanker is wearing the full kit on the sidelines. Like, I'm part of the team.
Still got drink.
There's a little bit left.
Can I still last a bit?
Gosh, can.
Thank you.
Was there not another bottle brought?
There is some there, but I don't see the point opening another for a small bit. So what is this cast this time then?
I don't know. It started
Generic
off.
nonsense
It
cast.
started off straight to football.
This is just a
Finest.
nonsense. I thought we'd have talked enough football
Deep
already.
fried nonsense cast.
Finest of all the podcasts. The bullshit.
Flavoured water cast. Product placement cast number 2.
Oh, Edward.
Product placement cast was one of them.
We do have-
Best.
It's fine.
Oh, so flat,
Just,
so warm.
How?
Don't, because you'll take all of the carbonate. Well, fuck me, side.
The worst thing is,
That was
is
a
the
lot
fact,
in
is the
there.
fact that that's probably going to kill whoever drinks it, because it's been in that bottle for over 2 months in that state.
I don't think it's that long, is it?
I think
Two
it
months?
is.
I don't think a sugary drink of that.
Yeah.
That
How long do you think
concentration
it's?
really
How long do you
goes
think
off
it's in
that
there
easily.
before you buy it?
6 days. 6 minutes.
Fresh off the batch.
Fresh.
Fresh out.
Fresh from the cow.
Fresh
Straight
out of
out.
the container.
You're very close to making connection. there.
Fresh out of the
I
coca
keep
leaf.
warning him, it's fine.
Or the coconut. Cola nut. Not coconut.
The
Cola.
cacao. The cacao.
No, it's the cola nut, because we discussed it. You even ran through it in
did
your
have that
A to Z of...
The nuts.
what's the word? Culinary nuts. Because we were trying to get one for each letter of the alphabet. and
The
we couldn't.
Australian pistachio.
Something
Or
like that.
macadamia.
Something like Australian pistachio, my ass. Andrew, you look like you've got something to bring to the party.
So with the statistics for the podcast, because it's like a roll, like some points are like in the last day you've had like a bajillion listeners, and then because it'll roll, it'll be like you've had no listeners. So if you like change to like 7 days, you'll have like you've had like 150,000 listeners, and then it'll roll over and you've had like 30 listeners. But not sure if we've ever had Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
Did we have Bulgaria previously?
I don't know, actually. Can't say they...
Uncle Bulgaria. Sofia.
No,
Plovdiv.
Yeah, Plovdiv.
I'm assuming you know this because it's probably like a stag do destination.
Oh, he's almost definitely been. Probably going this weekend as well.
Yes, you.
He's looking at you.
I've never been to Bulgaria before.
Have you not?
So you're
No,
going,
that's
so
where you
you
got
should
me.
be going this weekend.
Shouldn't that's where you brought me tobacco back from?
It's one of
Or
those
twice.
that
No.
at some point
However,
we will have to address the elephant in the room.
Always the bridesmaids, never the bride scenario for Paul here. Or always stag do, never is.
It
never
was
the
mentioned on
stag.
Saturday, wasn't it?
Well, he did say this
I
to
did
me.
say
I
to
thought,
him at
what's
some
going on
stage
here?
is,
Is Amy aware of his mad plan to escalate things so quickly?
No, Paul's only actually.
time's running out, man. I'm getting on.
He's
getting
your
on in
eggs
years.
are
I need to,
shriveling up,
you know.
Clock's ticking.
He's absolutely just going to
Tubes
marry
are drying
Amy.
up. You really
Purely because I think on Saturday you agreed to potentially leave the UK.
Who did?
You?
No, I did not.
If it was Paul Stagdo,
No.
you did.
No, I did not, because
Did you not?
you lot said something behind me about Dench might even think about going to that, but never told me what this was.
I missed all this because I don't think I was in this
I remember,
vicinity. at this
I
point.
remember hearing someone
Where was
say
this? Was this in
Dench
the
might
Sea
even
House?
do
I can't
that.
remember now.
But he did mention in the
It-
car this
it would
plan
have
of
to-
going to Manchester.
Was it maybe
And I'm like-
inside the Brown Cow when I was sat outside?
No, because I didn't quite.
I know, okay.
But I
No.
wasn't involved in the conversation.
No, it was on the way somewhere. I think it was as we were walking down that god-awful cycle path to the pub that did not open. But either way, the topic was brought up today, but it wasn't brought up with me. And
okay.
he brought it up in the car, and I was like, how upset would you be if I said no? And he went, oh, I wouldn't be, because I've had a chat with you first. I went,
Immensely.
brilliant. No.
Immensely.
He's already
But I,
given
right,
he's
so
already absolved me.
I even said to him, what if it was in Manchester? And he was like, probably not going to happen. I was like, what
I
the
don't think
fuck?
I've ever been to Manchester that I remember.
This is insane.
It's not.
You should correct that.
I
Manchester's
really
awesome.
I went to Manchester in 13 days.
I thought he was going to say 13 minutes.
I've family in Manchester.
We've got to
So I know
crank
I've
this
been
one
at
out.
some point in my life, but I don't remember ever going.
So I asked him, as a legitimate question, when was the last time he left the county? Because originally I'd say, when was the last time he left the city? And I was like, scratch that. He had to go to Raskelf to count the guns in the cabinet. And give us a detailed breakdown of which each gun was.
Oh, the
Anyway.
over and under, or side by side.
Anyway,
That's a side snapper.
What's that?
side by side, you tosser. I mean, I would never be so pedantic.
So, and then I said, right, I'll rephrase that because obviously you go to Raskelf and stuff like that. When was the last time you left the
shit.
county? And he was like, well, I went to Whitby the other day. I was like, Ed, that's definitely in North Yorkshire.
Okay, I do Whitby every now and then because I like Whitby.
Hasn't Whitby got a York postcode?
I know Scarborough's got a York postcode. Scarborough's YO.
I never have to send mail there, oddly enough, so I don't know. But you tell me it's still in North Yorkshire, so fair enough.
And I
To
was
which,
like,
unfortunately, the answer is I haven't actually left the county in, it'll be about 7 years.
Wasn't there something about work sent you somewhere?
I had to go to Sheffield.
It's still
That's-
the county, unfortunately.
technically,
that
it's
is
a
the
different-
Let's
only
say
wo-
we'll call it Yorkshire. Come on.
So I said, like, what
I
about...
had to go to Sheffield.
What,
once,
Leeds?
But that was with Shireen. So that will have been...
She's not been on the part.
Regardless of whether it's Shireen or not, that's still Yorkshire.
No, it's when we worked with Shireen. It was for the...
I'm
good
classing the
profits,
county as
SVU
North
enhancement
Yorkshire.
crap.
Mm,
So that will have
there's a
been
lot of people
6
that
to
argue to
7
say
years
that
ago.
York's not in North Yorkshire, though.
That's got to be about 6 to 7
Elaborate.
years since.
It's like how, like, Manchester's not in Lancashire. Because it's its own... entity.
Right, this is bollocks. They're both in where they are.
Well, that's a given.
Yeah,
Manchester-
they are
You
both
are in
where
where
they
you
are.
I'm not having this. Manchester 100% is in Lancashire. York is 100% in North Yorkshire.
There's something about
I'm
it
not having
being
this
like
fucking
Greater
bollocks.
Manchester's its own places.
This is bollocks about Middlesbrough. Ooh, is it in North Yorkshire? Ooh, is it in Cleveland? Ooh, is it in Teesside? No. It's in North Yorkshire.
Is
Not saying
Cleveland
any
the
more about
county,
it.
though, or is that just
This
an
is the
area?
thing.
Is this like Springfield? It's on a perfect point of about 7 different places, and therefore it could be all of them.
No, I think the idea with Springfield is that they
doesn't actually
they
exist.
don't narrow it down to wherever it is.
No, but in one of the episodes,
That's the
and there's
beauty of it.
neighbouring states, and he lists like
And then
12.
when the closest they ever get is where
Ned and
Marge is
Bart.
on the phone to the makers of the Vincent Price egg decorating thing, and they don't have any feet or something for the bottom of the eggs. And you're going, it's 742 Evergreen Terrace. Oh, hiya, Maud.
Bit of a joke.
Which doesn't make sense because there's a place in America called Springfield.
There's loads. Springfield, Illinois. I'm pretty sure there's a Springfield in Massachusetts. There's loads.
Springfield, Ohio, Maud.
So there's loads.
No, I was thinking of the one where Bart and Ned become quite friendly. It might actually be in the movie. And they're standing on the top of the hill and he goes, and you can see the neighbouring states, and lists off like 6 of them as if they all pinnacle point into Springfield dead centre.
Pinnacle point.
But either way.
The elephant in the room I was referring to was the fact that Ed was here.
A proud resident of York has been awarded compensation from his bank after they wrongly claimed his home city was part of North Yorkshire.
Sorry.
That's the sort of man who writes into Point of View.
Peter Brown, a former sheriff of the historic city, received a letter from Lloyd's Bank addressed to his house in York, North Yorkshire. In his reply, he pointed out that the city has been legally independent from the county for nearly 2 decades.
Oh my God. Why?
How much money did they give him for that?
£75.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
I'm amazed that his dignity is so cheap.
I'm sorry, but...
He informed Lloyds that York has been self-governing since the 14th century, apart from a brief interlude between 1974 and 1995.
Honestly.
I am not in North Yorkshire right now. Fuck you all.
People have...
I leave North Yorkshire every day.
Yeah, but I'm taking that as I was right, that York isn't in North Yorkshire.
Ooh, yeah, but let's discuss what's actually York. Is York
Sorry,
what's within
James,
the bar
I didn't mean
walls?
to inconvenience you with this. I'll get a check out now. £75 compensation.
No, I'm just saying.
Seriously, where does it end? Where does it end?
I'm just waiting for when people start saying it in that.
All right,
you're going to get to it. It's health and safety gone mad. Where does it end?
I can actually explain where it ends, because people like that are the self-gratifying type who are literally bent over doing themselves, and now you have to figure out where it ends. It just doesn't. It's going round on them. It's just going round.
Ouroboros.
Is that... I mean, are you saying that that's the thing?
I am insinuating that this bloke sits at home gobbling on his own junk. Just to make himself feel good.
Knob gobbler.
Yeah.
Knob gobbler.
I think that's the best way to explain it, because that way, where does it end? It never does. It just gets worse.
Okay.
Amazing.
I think.
Because let's face it, the first time you see something like that, you're like, "That's impressive." I'm not very happy about it, but it's impressive. But if it just never stopped and you had to keep watching, it's just a problem. And that's where this is. It's getting worse.
Anyway, so.
Thank you.
Has Ed ever been out of York, North Yorkshire?
I'm sure you've been down to London a couple of times.
Yorkshire.
7 years back. Last time I went up to Jude's house.
So, can you count?
Have you ever been to Scotland to see Michael?
No.
Oh.
Why the hell would I have gone to Scotland to see him?
Because he's nearer, and that's what people do.
He's nearer now. He's not even in Scotland. I've not been to see him.
Where is he now?
I actually don't know. It's about half an hour drive though from where
So
Rascal.
that would potentially put him outside of the county, so he can't physically go to see him. He's not allowed.
No, it's just I've no need to.
He's self-imposed laws.
Is it like the Truman Show when Ed gets the edge of York?
There's loads of cars just suddenly block the way, so I can't get past here. And if I race past that, suddenly there's a lot of people in there.
I'm sorry.
Suits.
I'd watch it. If it wasn't.
The Ed Show?
Yeah.
Oh, it would be
Although wasn't that
amazing.
the other one? There was the Truman Show and then there was...
Ed TV.
What was Ed TV? Was that the same?
I think it was a similar sort of
Similar
idea.
premise.
They
But
tried to cash in
I never
on
saw
the
it.
popularity of the Truman Show and I don't think it
I
worked.
think
I'd
more
love
of a
to watch
self-aware
the Ed
Dead
Show.
TV.
We didn't know he was being filmed, and he was more like a Big Brother scenario in that he knew he was being watched. And
if you were
what
the
he
star
did
of
for you to
the
take
Truman
or
Show, I would absolutely watch it.
I'd subscribe in a second.
But if he was, we'd all be in it.
To be fair,
Maybe we are.
we could be doing it right now. You'd never tell, because at the end of the day,
We're all amazing actors.
we do enough product placement as it is. So we could already just be doing it.
Just on in front of the sign.
yeah, no, maybe. I mean, I've already seen him flashing a Coke bottle, you flashing the Asdas.
We've got to fund
Was
this
that
somehow.
precarious bag of orange slices?
Oh, he's into it.
And I keep buying all that weird technological crap in my house. That must be sort of subliminal. Maybe? I don't think I'd care. I'll be honest, I could find out.
You realise that's
my
gonna be a
response to it
thumbnail,
would
like
probably be
Making myself out to be
fair enough.
really, really strong.
I'm starting to think I might know how those other ones ended up on the floor.
He's bracing himself.
Well, at least the audio's going to be
The other
quality.
it's going to be as good as last week.
Come on!
Stu right now is just because we all know that Stu loves additional sound on the audio podcast.
Well, it's because he doesn't watch them, does he? Does he not just listen?
It's brilliant when he's here and we're doing a quiz or something.
And he's like, no.
because all of a sudden he'll just sort of go to me and just go,
Wow.
I'll be
You
like,
really
oh
don't
sorry,
wanna
am I
give.
tapping again? He's like, you know you are. Stop it right now.
These really don't want to give in.
What's going on here?
I'm trying to open it a different way because I'm with Paul here. They do not want to give. They don't want to go.
Go on, Andy.
Dad.
Show them that the gym's not gone to waste.
Daddy!
I've been to the gym fucking ages.
I'm sorry, not getting it over the face there. You see, even the big guy can't do
They might
it.
have a point actually,
Even the big guy can't do it.
but
I'm not just scrawny and pathetic. It's actually a fact. They have.
There's more than one way to skin a cat here, Andrew.
there is.
You're trying to do what I was doing.
I can't prove
You
that.
can't get the top.
This is
They welded
podcasting.
shut.
This is riveting entertainment.
Stu shafted us with faulty. I was picking him up and now I'm like, what has he done to us?
Stu, what are you playing at, man?
Right, can we try the other method? Squeeze. Just squeeze.
No,
No,
Nope.
just grazed it.
it's just a
Yeah.
flesh wound.
So yes,
So
anyway.
where have you been?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Can you count on your hands the amount of times
No,
you...
I meant where have you been since last podcast? Where have you been?
Oh,
What have I been up to?
I meant in the other
Christ.
regard.
I
The last one I can remember Ed was on, we were at his house.
was going to say, I think it was...
Techie-cast.
It was the attempt at a Techie-cast with a bit. I mean, I've bought a gadget since then.
VR overview.
Pass it here. I'll have another go.
I honestly, I mean, it's audio gold again.
Oh,
That's
Jesus.
bite on it.
Don't tell us we don't give you high quality content, ladies and gentlemen. Yay!
Do anyone actually want them?
No.
He's gone for all
I'd much prefer to have some chicken.
Get fucked.
Language, Timothy.
Paul, just up straight, lean right forward,
I-
open your mouth and start going.
Why do you have to gurn?
What do you mean?
Guns.
I love
so,
chocolate oranges. Thank you.
As we've just established, I have not been anywhere. I've hit an unfortunate point. My gaming rig has hit that nice stage where it's on its last legs. It needs to be upgraded. Well, it's done 5 years. It's done all right, to be fair. It's just at that point everything's running at medium and
Did I hear
bordering problematic. So
somebody say something about Ed's going to buy a gaming laptop?
I'm mulling a laptop over.
Yeah, Ed told me that.
I'm mulling a laptop over
send them down.
because I'd quite like
You've started
me
off
to be
now.
able to do the VR downstairs, but be able to use it upstairs with the tablet
I'll show it
drawing
later.
systems and things and other features.
Temple with a nice little pocket.
And having a
quarterback.
base unit ties me in one place, but the alternative
I wasn't impressed with the quarterbacks, honestly, Paul.
buy an all singing dancing rig again
You're a harpy.
and just spend a little bit to upgrade the old one so that it'll do some of the things I fancy doing upstairs, but for running bloody whatever softwares for.
Do you want to buy a barely used MSI laptop?
No, I'd like to buy a brand new MSI laptop.
Is that what you're going for?
If I do a laptop, I'm going to aim for an RTX 2070 as a minimum. Purely because I need it to last a good 3 to 4 years. I can't afford to upgrade these things every couple of months. So.
See, mine's the MSI Apache. My brother joked, you know why it's called Apache? I found out why it's called Apache. The fan is fucking loud. It is. Not even that more fucking Apache helicopter, you dickhead.
I'm gonna say because they're renowned for their helicopters and blades.
Apache Indian.
He was, I don't know where he was
I know where
going.
he's gone with, but
I'm not sure you can say that anymore.
yeah. There's a
Native
row.
American?
So I'm currently in the process of digging through
Oh, sorry. I didn't
alternative
say that.
options.
Not Apache Indian. Apache Red Indian.
But in my
Native
searching,
American.
I stumbled across something that's got me fascinated, and I was showing Paul earlier, and it was
Now you're going to be getting Canadians right in there.
So I stumbled across an option which I'd love to give into, but I've got no concept of price or release. It's meant to be Q2 of this year, which is now.
Coming to the end of.
I was going to say, so I'm still waiting to hear on this, but it was the Asus ROG's Mothership. That's what they've called it. And it's basically a Surface Pro for gamers. It's slightly thicker, but it is running a the RTX 2080. It's a terabyte of M2 solid state drive memory. It's 16 gigs of RAM, and it is just a full functioning bloody machine. It's not like normal tablets in that you cut out. The problem is in the conversion I've got for a pricing for wherever it's out at the minute. The actual
Almost
cost
definitely
conversion was about $6,000. Yeah, it ain't cheap. But it's really annoying me that, so I'm waiting for that to turn up. And I caved into a little robot thing. It's a 4-legged spider drone. He's quite fun. Loud.
Hang on. Spider drone.
Yeah, it's a 4-legged, it's a quadpod. So it's 4 legs and it walks around.
So it doesn't hover.
No.
Because I would imagine drone.
Drone doesn't represent just the things with wings.
I'm confused.
Drone doesn't what?
Drone doesn't represent just things with wings.
No, because all those ones that the wings.
Wings or blades or helicopters.
The ability of flight.
It's an automated or a remote controlled device, effectively. They've just coined the word for the MSI. Whose thing is pinging?
James, because he never
me.
puts his phone on fucking silent.
Ah, so he's allowed. I just wondered who it was and whether they knew.
Sorry, Stu.
But yeah, he's
You won't
a
be able
bit
to hear it any longer.
a bit of a giggle. That is about. I bought an IKEA sofa bed for my smoking room.
It's good.
Went to IKEA.
Every time he sends me a picture of that smoking room, it gets big.
Oh! Hang on. Now hang on.
No, I did do a trip to IKEA.
Oh my
That
god,
is
he
in
left,
Leeds.
he left
No.
the county.
I will have to stand corrected. It's not 7 years. I've been to IKEA.
No, I
times.
think we still established that we're talking about the county of York.
And Leeds is not Yorkshire. He's not.
He
He
was
was saying,
absolutely
no.
Yorkshire.
He was saying I need to go to Leeds. Leeds didn't count or something. So
It's still West Yorkshire.
yeah, so it's the other way, and it gets me out of North Yorkshire. So yeah,
I
left
still
North
count
Yorkshire.
it as just Yorkshire. Yorkshire.
Fuck's sake. Yorkshire's quite
Also,
a big area.
sure
You would say it's
IKEA is
even the
available
biggest
on
county.
internet.
Oh no, I ordered off the internet, but we did go there. We did actually go there. They got me in. The horrible.
Wait, do the
place.
same people that run IKEA run Dominic's Pizza? Do you have to go there and then order it on the internet?
online.
Is that how it works?
Download the app.
No, it's just I hate IKEA with a passion.
He's really happy with himself there.
Yeah, I really hate it if I'm honest.
I like IKEA.
Every time
I've never been to an IKEA in my life.
Oh my god.
I've driven past that
It
Sheffield. Have you seen that
stresses me
sign, that
out.
Sheffield one? Fucking hell!
Yeah.
It must have 2 different postcodes.
Yeah, it's like I think it's like a mile long. It's just like.
The one that leads in is actually
what is
small.
this?
The Sheffield one is this massive blue building.
Yeah.
It's
That's
fucking huge.
that's generally how
That's
IKEA's
it.
work.
It's-
man.
it's
Oh,
that
the
Leeds.
old
Well,
like, brand new
Leeds.
building.
Massive blue building.
Are you aware of the concept of what IKEA is?
Big blue building.
It's basically a flat-packed building that is transported
With
around the world
flat-pack
with flat-pack furniture inside.
Alright, I don't know.
Excuse me.
The one in Sheffield is massive. That's only been up in the last 18 months or something as well.
What about the IKEA? Hey! Hey? No? Yeah?
No, I'll give you that.
Not your opinion?
If there's a penis joke.
Thanks for explaining that.
I'm just picturing that Big Mouth one with the musical. She's remembering her youth in like the 60s, and she's with the guy with the whistle. Yeah.
What's the reason? We've not even been drinking.
So yes, IKEA. Hate that shop. Unless there's a reason, and I want to go.
There's
I
always
can't
a reason,
stand it.
and it's called meatballs and chips.
No, everyone said something about that.
Do meatballs go with chips?
They absolutely do in IKEA. Meatballs.
I just
chips,
find it the most stressful
gravy,
experience of my life. That place.
lingonberry
I don't know
jam.
why. I think
What?
it's just too much.
What?
Too
Meatballs?
much.
No. You
Chips.
lost me at gravy.
Gravy.
Yeah.
Lingonberry jam.
Yeah. Just explain. What is a lingonberry?
It's a Swedish berry. I'll say no more. My lips are sealed.
What is it like? Is it like a blackberry?
It's more of a red. If I had to describe it, you know those berries you always see on bushes? And you just sort of think, ooh, berries?
Do you mean
But it's a case of no.
No.
Don't
just
take those
check-
berries.
Do you mean like a red currant?
Yeah, they look a bit like a red currant.
Are they a bit less sort of circular and a bit longer and more like a sloe?
No.
I'm just
that'll be
checking.
a slow berry.
Well, it's just the fact you said the berries you find on the side of roads.
No, as in like bushes and like...
Yeah, sloes.
No, they're not
Yeah, but
all slows.
They're not so you can get
90%.
blackberries just on the side of the road.
Yeah, but what
Yeah,
I'm saying
true.
is you always get those.
Alright.
You always get those little red berries that you're not supposed to eat, but that are abundant,
Mm.
and they're always there for the birds to eat, but you can't eat them because they're like poisonous or something like
I think you should eat some and prove a point because
No.
I'm not sure I'm convinced.
that. No,
No.
that's just me. Fuck.
And that is about the update I've got for you. If I deviate from the berry talk. So yeah, what have you three been up? Well, I know what you've been up to.
We
Dad
well,
of
we
the
have
year.
we have regularly scheduled conversations
Precisely. So
In
what have
front
you
of
been doing
these
for the
beautiful people.
last like week?
in the last week.
Yeah, because that'll be the time period between your last cast and this one.
I've put half of a wardrobe together. Just need to hang the doors and batter in
Should
the
have gone
back.
to IKEA.
Does
back
that mean?
panels.
Does that mean that you'll soon be able to have a bed?
The bed
What
is
is the
cur-
bed status?
So the wardrobe was
remember-
in a package in the living room yesterday. It is now upstairs in slightly less pieces.
Because if I understand right, you can't have a bed because the wardrobe wasn't in there yet.
Yeah.
So you have to sleep on a
But
mattress.
my favourite.
Have you
bit
ever
of
flat
this-
packed a wardrobe before?
No.
You need floor space to be able to build the wardrobe to then put it up.
Yeah, because you don't build it vertically. You tend to build it on his back and lift.
So I need the floor space to be able to build the wardrobe to put the clothes that are in the boxes on the floor.
Well, what do people who've already got? So you're in a prime position of not having a bed. What about people who've already got a bed and go, I fancy a wardrobe?
Well, if they're lucky,
They either have
might
to
be able
stand
to
the
build
bed
it
up,
on the bed,
or they could do that.
They could build it in another room and then try and shimmy it. Depends on your moving space.
So why don't you just build it on top of the bed?
Because the bed wasn't put to pieces. The bed wasn't put up.
He's got a problem here in that he has a mattress and he has 3 bed frames, but he has no bed.
Incorrect.
Oh, is that fixed now?
So
The bed is there, it just
the
can't
bed-
be built.
You explained
Right.
this to me.
the
and it's-
situation
it
has
just
changed a
didn't
lot in
work.
the last couple of weeks. We went from having 2 mattresses, 2 bed frames,
And no bed.
one bed frame without the pieces to be able to build the bed frame. So,
Is anybody else at this point wondering where all these beds came from?
Yes. The problem is, how
Or
he
just goes
explains
into
this, he
people's
goes,
houses
oh,
in-
we
in-
haven't got a
in the
bed
day
yet.
when they're out.
He tells you he hasn't got a bed and then says, we've got 2
We've got
frames and 2 mattresses.
so
You've actually got 2 beds. No, we haven't got a bed. No, you've got
Right.
fucking 2 beds.
let's start.
Oh, it's 3.
Let's start from the start.
It's a good place to start.
So,
So we're told.
at the end of April, myself, my good lady partner, Amy, as previously discussed on the podcast,
Hoping that Paul wasn't remembering her name.
moved in together to an unfurnished place. She had lots of furniture. We had to take it from there. So, her bed was too big to get down the stairs of her old place in one piece.
We're getting a Goldilocks moment here.
So we had to take the bed to pieces
Yeah.
and then transport it piece by piece in the back of a van, blah, blah, blah.
Piece by piece. I hope it wasn't a separate trip for each one.
No, it was. There was about 85 pieces, and we just decided to go do.
Ow! Was this
screw.
the most over-engineered bed in the history of beds?
No, I'm taking the piss, obviously.
Surely there was one end,
Bed
said
head.
end, both
Bed
ends,
foot.
some slats.
Yes.
Right, okay, I don't see why this is becoming complicated.
It was complicated, so you had to take every slat individually. He just explained. And the worst part
if
was
I'd have thought
driving
about
there
it,
with each screw.
If I would have thought about it, what I would have done is I'd have taken each slat and basically javelined them to the house.
To be fair, you are that close to you.
You're only 2 streets away, aren't you?
Hey?
Are you 2 streets away?
3. So it's 3 streets behind where she used to live.
Same way,
I mean, not for me. Where I was before was MacLeod, like about a 10-15 minute drive away.
I know.
So
I've noticed now because like when we leave Andy's every night, we don't have like that awkward race down to the A64 because you just go back.
there is no awkward race. It's always a case of he's always there speeding off, gets the traffic lights red, has to stop and wait. Whereas I see that the traffic lights are on red, so like, well, there's no point in me zooming up to him, stopping, and then zooming off again.
No, because even when you're in front, I never want to
maintain a consistent speed and just coast through until he can get there. Just absolutely nail it as soon as I'm through the lights.
No, because when he gets in front of me and he's like going along in one lane,
Also,
I never want to pull alongside him because I know if I pull alongside him, he's just going to be like giving me some like weird
revving the engine.
Yeah, so
I do like to sort of like if I'm going to overtake him, I do like to sort of overtake him by giving him the creepy face.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've moved your bed, one slat at a time, one screw at a time.
Now,
Amy cupping it all the way.
Amy's one of these women who apparently has more items of anything than she will ever physically need.
I like how you said that.
Before you start saying anything derogatory,
one of these women.
Is there a chance she might listen to this?
Yeah, I don't care. I've told her to her face.
It's her sort of thing that she
you say that now. It's easy to say, or towards her face.
I've said to her face.
When you're with your mates.
Seriously,
like Billy Big Bollocks.
Bear in mind, I did a lot of the moving. I took a day off work while she was still at work. So I could do the majority of the moving. And I swear to God,
sounds like you're her bitch.
Basically. So in the time, like, so the day that I took off work, I did 4 trips from her flat to the house, and I still didn't have everything that was in her flat.
What sort of transport?
It was the back of my car.
Seats down.
But the seats were down, so it was basically the 2 front seats.
Yep.
And then the back space. And I'd filled the passenger seat as well.
I'm gonna say, and it was full.
And it was pretty much full. If I'd have put any more in there, the suspension was probably questionable at that point.
Is Amy a kleptomaniac?
She's not. She doesn't steal things.
Oh.
Are you thinking of a hoarder?
No, I like kleptomaniac more.
Why would you have stolen all those things?
I don't know. Maybe that's why she.
Don't they always steal like weird things though? Like don't kleptos like just like go to the supermarket and just go, I want to steal them socks.
Kleptomaniacs will steal anything. Basically, they so when they go to people's houses, they'll take anything, little trinkets, just something that's ornamental.
Or did I want to say Winona Ryder?
Yeah.
Have a problem with kleptomania?
I think hers was actually socks that she got done in there and from a store or something.
Now I didn't know whether.
And for someone who's got a ridiculous amount of money,
yeah.
I imagine she's got a ridiculous amount of money relative to me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Winona Ryder.
No.
In Edward Scissorhands. Yes, please.
No. I've never thought that.
Big fan.
And I don't like the fact that she's always in weird ass films.
Such as?
Well, anything that Tim
Alien
Burton's done,
Resurrection.
basically. Tim Burton's like, I've got a film, who can I get?
So hang on. So
is Johnny Depp available? Yeah. Is Winona Ryder available? Brilliant, I'm also.
So,
Winona Ryder. Stroke. Helena Bonham Carter.
No, Helena Bonham Carter is in.
What?
Is she not married to him?
Yeah, but how many times did he cast her then?
You are thinking of 2 instances for Winona Ryder, and that was Beetlejuice and Edward Scissorhands. What other Winona Ryder, Tim Burton designed film can you think of?
Got you there, not bad.
Because
I will need the.
Unfortunately, you might be thinking of her 2 best-known films. You're not giving her credit for Star Trek, where she played Spock's mum and fell off a cliff and had very little to do with the film at all, which was great.
As in the re-release of Star Trek?
Yeah.
She'd have struggled to play Spock's mum in the bloody Leonard Nimoy once.
Yeah.
Has something just happened in the last 10 minutes where his bollocks have just got massive? Because he's out here giving it large.
But yeah.
Personally, if you're not mentioning Heathers, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Heathers? Is it in the stack?
No, I'm actually going to have to... I don't know that one. What's Heathers?
Look at his face.
I'm a good film person.
Honestly.
Is that one?
Winona Ryder, Christian Slater. They're in school. There's all like the mean kids. They're like the outcasts.
No, you're thinking of Mean Girl.
There's all the popular kids, and Christian Slater convinces her to like set them all up by like prank killing them.
Yeah.
Which is actually killing them.
Oh,
I don't know if this
That
film-
sounds a bit of a giggle, actually.
How?
Is it a comedy?
I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
dark.
it sounds hilarious, but
Dark comedy.
I think it probably is meant to be like a satire thing from the sounds of it.
I don't know why, but I've just
Yeah.
started to think of a film based in a school that I think we could possibly do for a movie cast.
is it The Breakfast Club?
It is not The Breakfast Club, but that is a great
I
film.
love The Breakfast Club.
But yeah,
How about The Faculty?
Ooh.
Never seen.
is that the one where the teachers are all aliens?
Yeah.
Don't
You-
ruin
Yes, I've seen that.
You know how like every podcast we're like that'd be good for the movie cast. Let's
we
fucking just
do
do
a-
a movie cast.
Well, in theory, it's the week after next.
it. Correct me if I'm wrong. The Faculty, Elijah Wood.
I want to say yes, but
I
I,
wanna
can't
say
remember.
yes.
Josh
Kaylee
Hartnett.
made me watch it because
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it, and it was surprisingly funny.
Ujima Flip.
yeah.
X-Men. Jean Grey from X-Men.
Yeah,
Famke
she's a
Janssen.
Yes.
Yes.
bit-
Formerly
so
of the
it's-
X-Men, cause it's Sansa Stark doing it now, isn't it? Sophie Turner.
Josh Hartnett.
There's
Elijah
literally
Wood.
one come out like
No,
A week
Elijah
ago,
Wood
didn't they?
yet.
Yeah, he should be in it. He's one of the
Dark
main characters.
Phoenix.
There he is. Yep, Elijah Wood.
Great film.
He is in it.
Really
It
enjoyed
is.
it.
It's
It
good
was
film.
amusing.
Good film.
It's also
Based
got
on-
Usher in it.
Incredibly based on Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot he had the Terminator 2 bad guy in as well, didn't it? God, am I?
Ah, yeah. The T-1000.
Yeah, he died. He was the dick gym
Robert
teacher, wasn't he?
Patrick.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you're doing massive spoilers here, but I think because the film's been out for like well over 20 years.
Robert Patrick, right? Has anyone seen Scorpion?
No.
TV show.
No.
Based on so it's an American TV show, but like the actual main star of it is like a British actor playing an American.
Eccentric
Is it Tim
genius.
Roth?
No,
this-
it's the guy who used to be in Casualty, strangely enough.
So it's
Charlie?
an eccentric
Charlie,
genius
no.
forms an international network
Um,
of super geniuses to act.
But
as
he
the last
basically
line of
leads like a
defence.
band of like misfits, but they're all like super IQs.
He said a current band of misfits. Is he not just talking about misfits?
Misfits.
No. Anyway,
Do you want the blurb?
and
Moth.
yeah, and
Mothra.
the FBI and stuff always get them to try and crack cases because they're all a bit weird, but they're all like super right thing. But the FBI guy is Robert Patrick. Getting around to that though, he's a big boy these days, isn't he, compared to like
Yeah.
the old days?
I hadn't seen him, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bit of a chunkster, or is he
no, I'm
worked
looking
out?
at
Bit of
it.
a
Yeah,
chunkster?
you're right.
He looks like he might have worked out, but then it's turned to not muscle anymore. You know, like how they go a bit when they get a bit older.
You know, that what was taught firm rippling pecs is now saggy,
Yeah, but that was
floppy,
never when
flailing
Robert Patrick
tits.
was like younger,
Oh.
like he's Terminator as well.
Oh, he's got
that wasn't his
Hulk
thing
Hogan
about being
syndrome.
big. His look wasn't big, was
No,
it?
no,
But
he was
now
lean,
he's
he was
just,
he was lean in that.
Yeah.
He was a thin bloke. But
He always
I
played
thought it was-
creepy guys as
Yeah,
well, didn't he?
he always played guys that were made of liquid metal, from my
No,
knowledge.
I think he's probably done more than one film in his career.
He was in The Sopranos for.
X-Files.
I've never to this day ever
couldn't-
watched
he
an
terrible in
episode of
X-Files,
Sopranos.
He
but
couldn't. He couldn't do.
replace
He couldn't do
Mulder.
another film, could he? Because he got
To be
melted.
fair, they were never going to get Mulder back.
Did he get melted? I thought he got frozen.
No, they freeze him, he then defrosts,
Shatters.
so he's a bit dicky after that. Every time he grabs things, he gets stuck for a while, and then they blow him up with a thing, and Arnie pushes him in, and he flails around, and then he does the thing where his mouth comes out of his own mouth.
I need to see that film again.
And then you get
Well,
I've
it's
seen
the-
all of it.
It's the
Arnie-
best one, isn't it? Number 2. Yeah.
In bits.
Yes, it really
I've never
is,
seen the
actually.
whole thing from start to finish.
But then Arnie, right at the end, does this really good thing where he takes the piss out of the Doom games by putting his thumb up as he goes into the lava.
Spoiler.
Is that where we can't
Spoiler.
self-terminate?
Hey, see, he's seen it.
I think everyone in the world has seen it. Underrated film, Terminator 2.
Underrated, dramatically underrated. Never even heard of it.
I'll tell you what, that gets
2 and a 1 now.
that gets a shout out every podcast now, doesn't it?
Especially when you consider
Criminally
that,
underrated, that.
every
Next thing I'm saying,
single
Man United,
Terminator.
criminally underrated.
Well,
WAC.
actually, have you seen the most recent Terminator where they did the whole back on his own timeline crap?
No.
I didn't mind that so much.
I think
Was it the trailer for the new one?
Oh
it
my
did
God.
look quite stunning.
When
but
will they let
again,
that franchise die?
It's alright, because I
When Arnie does.
Is
Oh,
it
When Arnie
again?
does.
Good God.
It's alright.
Have they brought?
Linda Hamilton's in it as well.
Oh my
Which one's
Well, they
God.
brought Linda Hamilton back.
Is that
Sarah
Connor?
Sarah Connor.
So have they dropped
she not dead at this
the
point?
young Sarah Connor one then?
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
What do you mean?
No, because in the last film that it was
something-
like the young Sarah
something-
Connor, wasn't
some-
it?
do you mean Targaryen from?
Summer
Game of
something,
Thrones?
no,
Yes.
No,
No, you're thinking of Summer Glau, and
That's
she
the
was
one.
from the series.
Yeah,
I
Sarah
don't know
Connor
who she was in it.
Sarah Connor Chronicles.
So I think this
Yeah.
one
She was a
supposedly wiped out all the others.
Terminator.
I think
Yeah,
it's I can't remember
Whereas
which
the
point
girl-
they're saying all the others don't exist.
the young Sarah Connor is the girl who plays the white-haired woman
Amelia Clark,
in-
yeah.
Daenerys Targaryen.
Yeah, I don't know names. I'm crap with names.
I just told you, innit?
Thank you.
Daenerys
And
Targaryen.
I've just said I'm sorry.
That's her
I don't
name
know
in
names.
real life. That's what she goes by now.
Really?
Absolutely.
Never seen a single episode of it.
Kaylee's got a friend who named their baby Khaleesi. I mean,
Yeah, means absolutely nothing to me.
my-
I know. I know.
While all these people were watching,
What's worse about that? It's
while all
even
these
a
people
name,
were
it's a
watching
fucking
Game of Thrones,
tomato.
I was there watching.
I know.
Like,
Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons.
I was watching
Goodness
like I
sake.
don't know, The Office for the 5th time. Or
Oh, it's okay.
football,
'Cause
or probably
for all
a
the
lot.
time
Probably,
they were doing that.
probably a wrestling pay-per-view that I'd seen about 18
What's
times.
that?
Whilst everyone was watching Game of Thrones, it's like so like Game of Thrones. What's another big Breaking Bad?
Didn't get
Lost.
that one.
No, I did. I watched Lost.
Ugh.
I didn't mind Lost. I thought Lost was all right.
Lost was fine.
I remember
until
talking to you about the ending, and
the end
you
of
were
season
like,
2.
"Well, I called the ending after like the second
Second
episode."
I
So
never
by the end
actually
of the first
watched
one, everyone was
the end of
complaining. By the end
Lost.
of the second, they were like, well, maybe it can't be that because it's too obvious and they haven't spelt it out yet. So maybe they're going to do something else. And then by the end of like the fourth, did
Second
you get to
episode, I was
6?
like, yeah,
Did you
I
get
know
to 6
exactly what's going
seasons?
on,
And at the end of the 6th season, when it finally gave away the ending to you, you're like,
yeah. I knew
arseholes.
that in the second episode.
You absolute
But
arsehole. You
let's-
dragged that out for that ending.
let's put it this
so
way.
disappointing.
At this point in time, I can't remember.
Ever thinking that.
No, as in I can't remember ever hearing people say, "Oh, it was the series finale of this the other week. Really enjoyed that. Tied everything up nicely." It never happened.
No, because
No, Breaking
It's-
Bad. Breaking Bad didn't get a bad reception.
Yeah,
the ending of Breaking Bad
Breaking
was
Bad
quite.
is probably the one that hasn't gone over the best.
It did because
but Breaking Bad was a bit weird. So Breaking Bad was always a bit up and down to me. Like some of those episodes were cracking, and some of them were just outright dark and just boring.
Yeah, the issue with the Game of Thrones one isn't that they didn't like the ending; it's they didn't like how they got there. Because for
They took-
all
they took
the
the
best,
easy way
the
out
best
every
example
single
was a map. If you look at like a maze, you've got your entry here, so that is the beginning of the series, and in the middle here is season 8, and there's this lovely twisty turny all the way around here. Season 2, brilliant all the way. Season 3, season 4, season 5, season 6, season 7. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's the issue.
That is the
It's
problem,
not,
is they just-
apparently.
Season 7 started to deviate from the twist, turn, and plot development that 1 through 6 did because they followed the books so. But
I was going to say, I remember
concept.
Amy saying that to me. It was a case of they
But the
followed the
moment they
books to a
lost the
T, and then as
books-
soon as the books had stopped, it was all like a case
They
of,
couldn't sort of prolong it because they
Uh,
didn't know what he was going to do, but that which meant they didn't quite know what they should do. So season 7 was a bit of a, well, let's not do anything significant. We'll just set up some plot stories for there.
It's the
And then
animation.
they found out what to happen with 8 and went, shit, we haven't worked towards this at all. No one will notice. It's fine.
Whenever someone starts talking about Game of Thrones, I just keep remembering when that George Martin guy died, as in the guy who was the producer for the Beatles.
And everyone's like, no,
and everyone lost their shit because they're like, I don't know where Game of Thrones is going to end now. And he's like, no, that's George R.R. Martin. This was just George Martin.
Yeah. I'd say
And they're like, who the fuck's that?
I'm told
Fifth Beatle, dickhead.
The Big Bang's now done, isn't it? They've done their
Big Bang's finished.
now.
I've not seen it yet. I've not seen any of the last episode.
I've not seen any of the last
Was
season.
that the last week or so that
falling
came out?
asleep.
It's been quite
I
recent.
think people have actually sort of gone,
No, I
I'm
think
happy
they're
it's
right.
over.
Yeah, it's probably
It's
about-
managed to drag on
It
enough
definitely
and they've
run its
gone
course.
Brilliant.
But
I think
it's
people are
weird
happy
that
with them.
Is it now the longest running sitcom?
I don't know
Did
if
it beat Friends?
No, I think no. It had one
No.
more. I think it had 11 series, so it had one more series than Friends. But Cheers had 10. No, I think Cheers had 11. I think
Oh, I
Frasier had
thought-
11 as well.
Oh, right. I thought
Does the
Friends was
Simpsons
the... You
Does
are?
Simpsons count?
Do you know, like, when people always say like Friends, like their favourite sitcom and stuff like that, I'll put Frasier up against anything.
I
pretty
loved
much.
Frasier.
Frasier was brilliant.
It was very good. It really was. He was so good, and his brother were, and the dad was. The character balance was so good. It was a brilliant series,
I think...
and his pedantic little obsession with the world's opinion of him over what he actually gave a shit about.
Hasn't Friends
It
got
was
a bit
just
more
good.
rewatchability? And
I don't
I'll
know.
say my
When's the
reason
last
for
time
that
you
is...
rewatched
No,
Frasier?
if Frasier's ever on,
Oh,
I'll
okay.
always watch it.
No, but does Frasier's episodes stand alone?
Yes.
I'd say so.
Alright, they're virtually always the same. He's got a date. It's going awkwardly.
You
Oh
wouldn't-
dear, he ruined it.
Apart from
Next
two
episode.
parters, you wouldn't have to watch the episode before and the episode after to know where you are in the story.
No, pretty
Yeah.
much all standalone.
Because they didn't
Apart
really
from
develop.
obviously, like, apart from
It's
certain
like,
relationships
it's the whole,
that
like,
develop over the
Daphne
course of
thing,
it.
like whether he's
Yeah.
with she's with
That-
or
that
without
obviously-
Niles.
That obviously develops over the time.
That's
yeah.
the only.
best.
That's the only thing actually for the whole thing that does that.
Yeah, really.
That's the
That's
only
the
thing.
only one. That's the only sort of like arcing.
But based on that, you can't watch Friends because that's
Relationship.
constantly changing between who's dating what and who's doing what and who's living with who and
Yeah.
where Rachel and Ross really
But
are.
Friends are they're all self-contained episodes, and those ones.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that proper?
Because I mean, they've all got that
fan
name, haven't they?
film?
If you look back at the names of the Friends episode, they're all called
The
The
one
One Where.
with.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that type.
Have you
of
have
system.
you seen the really dark Friends theory about Phoebe?
No.
That she's like a paranoid schizophrenic in her,
They're all of her
and they're all either her personalities or they're figments of her imagination and stuff like that. It's like
Makes a lot of
fucking
sense.
hell, who's sitting there just coming up with that?
I like that
But-
theory actually. I did
What?
read. It sounds interesting. I'm going to look it up later and read it. I did read a nice one where someone actually said, "Who is Friends about? Whose story is it?" And what they'd done is they'd sat down, they'd taken all the dialogue of every character and all the screen time they'd had and put the tests against it all and their interactions between them all and basically established whose
Chandler.
story it is. No.
Joey,
No. It's Ross.
Monica.
It's Ross's story.
Well,
He
the only
gets
reason
the most screen time.
the only reason I say
independently
Chandler
and
is
interactively.
because he was the one that wrote the pilot for it. It's like he's
Harry
he-
wrote the pilot.
he did he wrote something.
he wrote-
They canned it off, and it wasn't called Friends, but it was.
He
Chums.
wrote a pilot for a
Whatever.
series which was basically Friends. Literally just before he got
Yeah.
the call to go and
But he wasn't going to be in.
Audition for Friends.
What he wrote was essentially like
it was the
precursor
coffee
to
shop.
Friends.
It was the coffee shop.
But he wasn't going to be in it. He just was a writer at that
Yeah.
point, and
Well, I
then they
was-
got him in for it.
Well, I was thinking.
But by the end of it, he was writing a lot of the episodes, wasn't he?
They usually are though. It's like
Yeah.
a lot
I
of,
don't know
like,
if he was writing them at the end of it. I know he was writing some, but after he got off the... Was he...
I think
What was
David
he
Schwimmer
called?
was directing a lot of them.
Was he
Yeah.
called Painkillers? He was Painkillers. I think once he got
You
off
could
those,
judge
he-
it by his weight as well,
Yeah,
couldn't you?
yeah.
Whether he was like
and
on drugs or not.
his
yeah.
energy. He just so quickly slowed down partway through the series.
I know they were all getting involved in directing and writing, but I think he was like the driving force from what I
And he
know.
was good. It's
Well,
a shame
He
didn't
did
do
a
more.
show after Friends. I want to say, I'd look it up while I'm talking.
Sunset Boulevard, something like that.
It was something like that.
Yeah,
You're right.
Studio
43 on
54 or something on
Sunset Boulevard.
Strip.
Yeah, something like that.
What's his name?
Which was
Matthew Perry.
Which was
Thank you.
one series, and I think it was like 21, 22, 23 episodes or something. Fantastic. It was like the writing staff of a long-running late night talk show, and he was
Studio
like,
60 on the Sunset Strip.
yeah, and that was really good, and it was just one series,
Mm.
and yeah, there was a lot of like where he was at that time. 'Cause obviously, you know,
I forgot he did
drugs
this in The Good
were-
Wife as well.
He was in like, well, he was of the people that came out of Friends. Obviously, it's not really up for debate. Jennifer Aniston's the one who's done the best out of it.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
In terms of like popularity or name, but I think in terms of like, she's just done the odd film, hasn't she? I mean,
No,
I don't think
Jennifer Aniston did loads. She became like a proper sort of mainstream film actress.
Yeah. She
Really?
did quite a few serious ones. She became a big bit for the whole rom-com, Ben
Yeah.
Stiller, Adam Sandler
Vince
sort of era
Vaughn
films.
type sort of thing.
Yeah,
which
all the
were-
actors I detest.
Yes.
Anybody seen
But-
what Courtney Cox looks like these days?
No.
Sort of Skeletor-esque,
As age caught
isn't
up.
it? It's sort of Skeletor-ish because she's had
Age ain't
quite...
getting through that plastic surgery.
Oh,
I'm going to say
Ah.
she's had quite
She's
a bit of work.
Botoxed beyond belief, is she?
Sus.
Yeah.
You know those people that have that much plastic surgery, it's like, how do you look in the mirror?
And not see it.
Because you look in the mirror and it's not you looking back.
Do you mean
it's
like
someone else.
Barry Manilow? You've seen Barry Manilow these
Simon
days.
Cowell.
I was,
Have you seen that advert that Simon Cowell's on?
Weird.
Where from here up doesn't move. And he's got that
it's
weird
just
like,
weird.
mouth thing.
But he's
going
had some like, he must have some like cheek fillers or something
Yeah.
as well, because he's,
One both
yeah.
Disgusting.
the other one who's I was pleased to see come out actually was Schwimmer. Because obviously he didn't do very
Wait,
well.
David Schwimmer's come out?
Come out of that series better.
Oh, right.
Because obviously he did little bit parts, but he could, because he was such a whiny twat in Friends, he was never going to get great roles afterwards. But to see him in the O.J. Simpson film,
That is
he did
awful.
that really well, and it's nice to see him actually do a good film in the end.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Skeletor.
The thing is, I never seen him as that attractive, really. To
I'm
start
pretty
with.
sure I've seen an image of a transgender person.
I
that
will
kinda like
always bring up the Bill Burr sketch he does about plastic surgery, and it's like, why would anybody have plastic surgery when you look at other people that have had plastic surgery? They clearly haven't worked the kinks out yet. So do you want to look like someone who's 50, or do you want to look like a 35-year-old?
That's because, in fairness, though, you always notice the ones that. I bet there's some that have just had like a bit of subtle one there and a subtle one there that you, but you don't know. You only ever notice the ones that have just gone, well, for want of a better word, balls deep, and just gone getting it all at the same time. Like what was it when Renée Zellweger disappeared off for like a year and then came back and it was like an absolutely different person?
Yeah.
Like I haven't done anything.
She did
What?
nothing.
What?
I love
You're a
that.
completely different person.
That was outrageous when she come back on it.
Fucking brilliant.
And obviously now she can't get any roles.
Yeah,
No.
she's not really been in anything for a while.
She's dropped off the market, but hey.
Can't
Let's
think of
see.
any other ones. I mean, the really grim ones are like Melanie Griffiths went awful at one point, didn't she?
I don't know who Melanie Griffiths is.
Top Gun.
No,
Okay.
that's Meg
Oh.
Ryan. She had some done, but it weren't as bad as Melanie Griffiths.
Hang on, I'm just going to Google it.
Is Melanie Griffiths
When
the one
in
that was in the
doubt,
Boddens?
I'm just going to have a look.
No, it's Melanie
No, that's Miley
Sykes.
Sykes. Oh,
Pretty sure.
Melanie Griffiths is not in Top Gun. That is Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan.
Yeah, she does look like she's gone the same way as most of the people.
Melanie
who go too
Griffiths was
far.
married to Antonio Banderas. Was that what she?
Oh, Kelly McGillis.
Working girl.
Kelly McGillis, yeah.
Lolita.
God, me and
She absolutely was in Top Gun.
She was Lolita, if that's more of a one. Milk money.
But had you not seen that picture comparison? Because obviously they announced that they were going to do a sequel to Top Gun.
I'm going to be honest. I cannot
40
wait.
years.
I cannot wait for that to happen.
So they were like, Tom Cruise, what Tom Cruise looked like in the original Top Gun and what he looks like now.
Yeah.
Not a massive amount of difference.
Yeah.
And then there was like, I don't think they were bold enough to do the Val Kilmer thing.
What does Val Kilmer look like?
Don't.
Have you
I don't
not?
know.
Whenever someone says Val Kilmer, I
Don't do it to
can't help but think of the bit where Brian's on the phone in Family Guy and he just goes, "Yeah, I was just about to go to the new Val Kilmer movie."
Have you not seen Val Kilmer? Since
and then they showed a picture.
he got poorly though, didn't he?
How does Kevin Costner keep getting work?
Because they're all going to be it.
See, I think from memory though, Kelly McGillis was like probably older than what she was playing her character at the time, though, wasn't she?
I don't know any of these names. Those two women, I haven't got a clue who they are.
I mean,
Kelly
Jesus,
McGillis.
You wouldn't believe he turned into that.
But you are correct. He's been really, really unwell. He can barely speak now.
Oh God, that's not good.
He's had.
No, right. You go and have a look at the bit where he got
cancer.
Yeah, you go and have a look at the bit between when you think of him as in Top Gun and like Tombstone and Heat.
During the fat photos.
When he got massive before that happened.
Well, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Do you want to see something really
Robert Downey
depressing?
Jr. and Val Kilmer, and Val Kilmer's like a unit.
I'm not actually going to Google this one for you. I'm going to let you all do it. So you've all seen the Rocky Horror Picture Show? The actual film?
No.
Well, you've not?
I know it's about men in stock in
That
fishnets and stuff.
You
right?
have. Have you seen Let's Do the Time Warp Again? Which was a rehash. So the original's got a massive cult classic following, and Tim Curry was just the best sweet transvestite from Transsexual Transylvania ever. He was great.
Because he's not been very
But they did a rehash of it, and it was called The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Let's Do the Time Warp Again. And in this, they've recast everyone and tried to do another interpretation, just slightly more up to date, where the sweet transvestite from Transsexual Transylvania is an actual trans.
Right.
Which is really, really strange, actually, because it's too comparative to Tim. It's all a bit wrong. But Tim Curry is the actual narrator for it. And it's so depressing because he has had several strokes and problems, and he is...
But he's supposed to be in the new one.
Oh, it's so
I know he's not had a
horrid
stroke.
to see.
But does anyone watch Designated Survivor?
No. I always wanted to
Never
get
even
into
heard
it.
of it.
It's
Right,
the concept of Designated Survivor is in the American government, whenever there's an event, one person's not allowed to be in, for whatever better word, Parliament or whatever they call it, with the other ones, in case the worst happens and they all get taken out. In this particular programme,
The worst happened.
they do, and Kiefer Sutherland is just like he's a backroom politician that he's not really into politics so much, but he's the one remaining person in the government in it. So he becomes president. But in that, anyway, so it's a good show. But at the moment, guest starring in that is Michael J. Fox, and he's good though. He's really good in it.
He is.
He plays
As long as
someone
you
with
don't have to hold a glass of
Parkinson's
water
as well.
still, he's nailing it.
He plays someone with Parkinson's, so he's like walks around with like a cane and.
Oh, that's me.
But he's got a good look. He's got a
that's
proper goat going on.
The thing is, he's a brilliant actor, and he's done great work. For
He's
over
really good in
decades.
it.
I thought one of the best things he did was that episode of Scrubs that he guest starred.
He was really
I will
good.
always mention that. It was like that double episode.
Yeah.
And he played somebody who...
Had OCD.
The obsessive compulsive.
which played quite well into the Parkinson's. Like working backwards, like... Because he knew he had Parkinson's.
When they filmed was it the third Back to the Future?
So he did the entire run of Spin City, knowing they had it, and it's only like later when it all sort of came out and like his reason for leaving and this that and the other, and they were like, go back and watch Spin City. Oh, he's on his hands in his pockets. No, it's to hide the shakes, and it was like. And then sort of seeing the show clips of it, and it's like, fucking hell. And
I never watched Spin City.
Me neither.
See, I think he was a bit
My
of
mate
an
Rob used to go on
undervalued
about it quite a
actor
lot.
in his time because
It was
he
such a
did some good
shame
things,
because like people still wanted to book
but
him
not
for
enough
stuff, but he wouldn't
great
take the
things.
bookings.
And when he
would
did do his bits, he did them brilliantly.
He was a really good actor.
Yeah.
Great.
And
He
unfortunately,
had a good run and stuff.
I don't care what anyone says. I'll still put the Back to the Future films up against like as a trilogy. I know the third one's not as good as the first two, but
the third one actually
as a
has.
trilogy of films, I love them.
I don't
Really
mind the
good.
third one
I was gonna
because
say,
I like the
third
setting
one.
of it.
It brings
all.
a bit a different twist because let's face it, first one go back, second one go back and forth.
We'll go forward,
Similar.
then
This
go
one
back,
is actually
then
at least
go
it's going to
back even
a
further.
completely different time problem.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
same
even go as
basic
far as to
story.
say that I like
I think
the third one may be better than the second one.
I'd probably go there.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I like the fact that in the second one it's got the sort of the double time loop. In the fact that he's had to go back, and then he's had to go forward within the back of the first
All
the
stuff-
forward,
all the
just like
stuff
that.
in the future's good, but like the third one, like it's that long running Western.
I like
Yeah.
the Western
Yeah,
thing.
They're just really good films. I'm surprised they haven't tried to reboot that.
I don't think anybody will let them. Like I've said, the day that I see the rebooting Back to the Future, I'll be done.
I mean, what's his face has already gone, isn't he? Is Lloyd?
No, Christopher Lloyd's still around.
Is he?
He's still
So?
just about.
He must be nearly,
His voice acting
80,
still.
90 now?
Yeah, his voice.
You can
acting.
imagine him doing a reboot with him just having a cameo in it somewhere.
I honestly don't think they'd get it past anyone. I don't think anybody's going to agree.
They've
was
rebooted
a-
a lot of
I'm
them.
sure-
Say that, but how many good films have they?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't know if it's been-
Ghostbusters. Who
I don't know if it's been
greenlighted that
taken off
fucking atrocity?
Netflix now, but there was a documentary about
What was his name?
fans of Christopher Lloyd.
Lloyd.
There was a documentary about fans of Back to the Future, and I can't remember what it was called, but it was on Netflix.
Is
It
that
was
the one that
off.
Dan Harmon was
Could have been.
wrongly quoted?
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure he might have actually sued them for that.
Maybe.
What's that?
Don't quote
Explain
me on
the
it, but
story.
I'm pretty sure there was
There was a
major
documentary on
issue.
Netflix where
That
it
might be
was,
why they've taken
I
it
think it was called Back in Time,
Yeah.
or something like that, and
81.
it was just they just interviewed loads of fans about what they liked about the series, the franchise, and stuff like that. And it just like went to loads of people's houses where they had loads of bits of memorabilia,
People
and
riding the DeLorean
and it went to
stuff
one
like
guy,
that.
one guy's house who he owned a DeLorean, but he owned all three versions because he had the original version, he had the hover version, and then he had the one from the third film that had the railway wheels put on,
Yeah.
and it was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
They were very good in the fact they were probably the only films to really focus on detail. I don't think I know another film that did such a nice job on the details they paid attention to. In the sequel, getting the original footage and putting Fox in at that time was a really big feat. I mean, considering how much of a work they had to do to get Han Solo to move his head a little in some of our clips, to blend Jamie Foxx into the background of
Jamie Foxx?
Sorry,
Jamie Foxx.
Michael J. Michael J. Fox into
Blending
that so
Jamie Foxx
completely.
into that role would have been some epic editing.
Obviously, there was the fact that the second and the third film had a load of legal issues.
Weren't they filmed back to back or something
Yeah,
like
back
that?
to back.
Oh yeah, because the trailer for the third one's at the end of the second one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crispin Glover sued the shit out of them and won.
Crispin Glover, that's his dad, isn't it? Because he's not in the second or third one.
In the first one, it is.
Yeah.
So he sued them because, for whatever reason, he wasn't going to be in the others, and they basically cast.
Who's this? Who's
Crispin Glover? Michael J. Fox's dad in.
So Martin McFly's dad,
McFly,
George
yeah.
McFly. So if you notice in the second one, he's upside down, so you
Yeah.
can't really tell it's not him.
Well, there's loads of different things, like because they change the girlfriend between 1 and 2 and 3, don't they?
Yeah, because she's.
But they had to
she was
reshoot
in the Karate Kid.
Yeah, they had to reshoot that whole scene, didn't they? At the end of 1, that scene is repeated at the start of 2,
Yeah.
but with the new girl.
Yeah.
And then I was watching as well that originally they wanted a Michael J. Fox trip, but whatever sitcom he was in at the time wouldn't release him out of his contract, so they shot a good proportion of the film with another actor.
Was it Eric?
Eric Schultz, absolutely was.
And then he got released in time to do it all.
And then they managed to like buy him out and was like, it's not working with Eric. We really want Michael. It's worth us just starting again.
I've heard all this, so I'm sure this is that.
I think it's on. It must be a documentary.
This is either a documentary that I've already read.
But there's
I've
all
already
you can see. You can go back and see the footage with him doing it
Yeah.
with the original.
I think it's
Jen.
on.
Is it? She's called Jen.
Yeah.
I think it's on the extras of the DVD of the second
It will
I
film.
don't know. I know that there was a documentary running on Netflix when they got all 3 programs on Netflix. It was when I was appalling. I was literally watching films all night because I couldn't sleep. I think I watched all 3 Back to the Futures, and then what they were doing is Back to the Future Part 4, which was revisiting and
Back to the Future sort of concept.
Yeah. And I think I watched all of them in about a 24-hour period.
Because they had a massive thing about it 4 years ago, didn't they? Because it was the 30th anniversary.
Yeah.
And it was the case of, right, let's watch the film, then let's see what they got right.
Mm.
And they got a few things right. They got the holograms and stuff like that. Bang on. Hoverboards, not quite, but there was stuff that was similar.
Yeah, so I mean, we've introduced the what we call the hoverboards, the free rolling things.
The ones that get me is where because obviously they thought these would be a thing.
They thought 30 years, that's way too long.
It was those Pizza Hut branded tiny little like crackers they put in the microwave.
The rehydrator, which technically is a thing.
Please.
Hydration level.
Hydration level 4, please. Yeah, let's say there was
I
loads
can't
about
remember her name, but she was good looking in Back to the Future.
Who?
Marty's mum. I can't remember her name.
Lorraine.
Yeah, no,
Lorraine.
the actual actress.
Oh,
I don't know her name.
Lorraine McFly. Lorraine Baines McFly. Oh, I love that film. Even though I've only watched it in the last 6 weeks, I want to go back and watch it again.
I think I watched it last week.
Do you know what? I'd go out there to say that's possibly the film I've watched the most, I think.
She was Lee Thompson. Oh God, she was in Howard the Duck.
What?
I've not seen Howard the Duck for a
Don't
long
even
time.
The atrocious one.
Don't even
Oh,
get me
do it.
started on Howard the Duck.
Just show him a little picture of what Howard
Am
looks
I making
like
a jump
in that.
here? But is he in Marvel?
Yes, he is.
He
there
is,
you go.
isn't
That's what the film did to it.
Pretty sure
Yeah.
as an Easter egg, he's in Endgame, isn't he?
Yes, he's in all of them. After the first one,
Is
you see
he?
him sitting. Yeah, so in the
Shit.
in the Guardians, he's inside a cage.
Yeah.
And then after they blow it up at the end, they show a scene of him sitting there drinking with the bloke.
Because there was a rumour.
Rings a bell.
I was getting Ed the Duck.
There was a rumour they were going to do another Howard the Duck movie, but then
Like, when did Andy Peters release into the Marvel Universe?
Yeah, TV show about it.
That's what I was
The
thinking.
thing is, Howard the Duck was an actual key Marvel
Don't
character
say it.
toward the Guardians, apparently. I looked into the relevance of him, and he does have strong story arcs.
They just ballsed him up by having him in that film, haven't they?
No, the original one was George Lucas. It was just when George Lucas didn't know what the hell to
Just
do.
Just remind me how George Lucas funded that film.
Don't know.
Sold a company, I think. Can't remember what it was called.
Disney?
Lucasfilm.
Oh, that was right. He sold that company. Pixar
Was that George Lucas's?
to fund Howard the Duck.
Look at his little face. Look at his little
I made a
face.
mistake
At
there,
any
didn't
point,
I?
he had been like, probably shouldn't have done that.
I tell you what though,
Oh yeah, because he's
it's kind of turned out alright
because
for
he's
him. hasn't
well
it?
short of cash.
I think he was by the end of Howard the Duck, because like as far as like
It was.
flops are concerned.
Yeah, it was not good.
I'm gonna have to. Well, you lads keep talking.
Have you
I
never seen that?
I have no idea what Howard the Duck is.
I know what it was.
We've all
and
seen
I
it, and
watched
we've
it.
got no idea what Howard the Duck is. Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Really, we all tired of it. Oh dear.
We're just feeding off each other's yawn.
Well, there's that.
I'm trying my
There's
best to resist.
there's the theory, isn't there? That
Lee
there is,
Evans joke. Everybody stands facing each other in the first person yawn.
We
No,
used to have it in the office.
there is only one yawn.
It's just going round in
It's just
circles.
constantly getting passed around.
Like a good cold.
We used to have it in the office though, that like it was just on a post-it note pad, just with the word yawn written, and every so often you just hold up to someone. You watch how many people can resist a yawn when you just write the word in front of them.
As soon as
Oh,
I
yeah,
feel
I
resist it now.
It's weird, isn't it?
I was watching a
Apparently,
just
it
on
comes
top
from
of
that
Pixar.
because you're tired. It's like the yawn is like it's like trying to get more air in or something like that.
The problem is that's
You, Pixar.
kind of bollocks.
Is it?
Yeah, because since when did
That's
more
very
oxygen wake
dumb.
you up?
A yawn is a reflex consisting of the simultaneous inhalation of air and the stretching of the eardrums, followed by an
Yeah.
exhalation of breath.
Yeah.
Yawning most
Stop
often
talking
occurs-
about it. You're sending him off.
Yawning oscitation
Mm-hmm.
most often occurs in adults immediately before and after sleep, during tedious activities, and as a result of its contagious quality. It is commonly associated with tiredness, stress, sleepiness, or even boredom and hunger. In humans, yawning is often triggered by others yawning, e.g. seeing a person yawning,
Monkey see, monkey
talking
do.
to someone on the phone who is yawning, and is a typical example of positive feedback. This contagious yawning has also been observed in chimpanzees, dogs, cats, birds, and reptiles, and can occur across species. Approximately 20
think that's
psychological
birds who yawn.
reasons for yawning have been proposed by scholars, but there is little agreement on the primacy of any one.
If you want to see something weird, just pause, go find a video of a pelican yawning because they lift their head up, the arm goes right up, and they bend backwards, but because of their neck it goes like that out of their mouth. It's really
And then they shake their heads. They shake their heads afterwards.
It's really
Weird.
fucking weird. Continue.
Have you ever seen a bit in Brooklyn Nine-Nine when Terry's not slept for like 72 hours and he goes in to see Captain Holt and he's just like midway through a sentence and he just goes... And the captain just goes, Terry, are you trying to stifle a yawn? He's like, no, sir. I love Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's so funny.
I don't think I fancy watching Andy Samberg.
Oh, he's so funny in it. You love The Lonely Island.
I know I do, but he's just so ridiculous in that.
He's so funny.
The thing about it is that I don't... It's weird. I don't find it that funny. But I just watch it for Terry. Terry Crews
is
makes that
amazing.
Entire series. Oh, other than when...
Did anyone ever watch Everybody Hates Chris?
Saw a couple of episodes.
Yeah, episodes here and there.
I remember Everybody Loves Raymond.
I watched it, absolutely loved it, so kept buying the DVDs, and that's the first time I'd ever seen Terry Crews in anything.
Can't think of Terry Crews.
Big, massive, huge black guy.
Is he the one who...
Hilarious. He's on the Old Spice advert.
Yes,
Well, he's a what do you call it? I thought he
he's
was like a UFC
brilliant.
fighter.
Well,
Terry
I still think
Crews?
my favourite
Was Terry
series-
Crews
No,
not in the UFC or something?
No, he was an ex-NFL player.
White Chick's ridiculous. It is two black cops go undercover as white girls, but Terry Crews takes an interest in one of them, goes on a date, and she's trying to be so white he won't be interested. So he puts on the one where she's on the piano. Make my day. I can't remember that.
Terry Allen Crews.
Nelly Furtado, is it?
Terry Allen Crews is an American
I'm
actor,
like a
comedian,
bird.
activist, artist, and
Not
former American
white,
football
no.
player. Crews
I'll
played
find
Julius Rock on the UPN CW sitcom Everybody Hates Chris. And Nick Kingston Persons on the TBS sitcom Are We There Yet? He previously hosted the game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? Never knew that.
What?
And starred in the BET reality series The Family Cruise. He appeared in films such as Friday After Next, White Chicks, Idiocracy, and the
Is White
Expendables
Chicks
series.
with one of the Wayans
brothers, yeah.
Yeah.
So in 2013,
I thought
he played
Expendables,
NYPD
yeah.
Sergeant Terry Jeffords in the sitcom Brooklyn Nine-Nine. He is currently hosting America's Got Talent. Another reason to watch that show, or a reason to watch that show. Crews played as a defensive end and linebacker in the National Football League for the Los Angeles Rams, the San Diego Chargers, and Washington Redskins, as well as in the World League of American Football with Rhine Fire. Nice.
I've just got the White Chick scene for him.
I've never seen it because the DVD front cover puts me off.
What do you mean that?
Yeah. I'm not really into the Wayans brothers either. They're not the best one, are they? It's Damon's the best one. Until he just went batshit on Oh, when does what's it come out? When does
Oh, because he did this as lip sync.
Has anyone ever seen Bulletproof?
No.
He did this on Lip Sync Battle.
But he
already
went
knew it.
he went a bit weird on the Lethal Weapon set, didn't he? And lost all his friends. Wayans, Damon.
So
Because after he managed to get
the other guy fired.
Clayne Crawford. They got Clayne Crawford fired.
Yeah.
Then they brought in Sean William Scott, and then apparently
Damon Wayans.
he then left anyway.
Yeah. That was the way the story.
I'm not sure what they're pointing at.
I've not seen it because I don't like Adam Sandler doing
It's an Adam Sandler film where he's not, one, the main character, or two, actually trying to be funny. It's a good film, actually.
Can Adam
Yeah.
Sandler do straight?
Yeah. Little bits.
Yeah,
Spanglish is not really a comedy.
He's pretty straight in Coneheads. You see him for a whole 10 seconds, it's perfect. It's the best amount of Adam Sandler to ever see.
Damon Wayans
Cool.
was apparently considered for the role of the
Is it
Riddler
Dark
in
Knight?
Batman Forever.
Why
Before it
was
went to Jim
Adam
Carrey.
Sandler in that?
For about a 20 second, he's the guy who gives them the passports.
Yeah, but he must be young.
he's not that young at that
That was
point.
quite an old film.
He'll be in his mid-20s. I don't know why you define young at this point, because when I say young to about an actor,
I just think
usually mean when
Conan's
he's
in
on skip.
like an 80s film.
Go on. If you had to guess, how
But
old's Terry Crews?
He gets them the fake passports.
Can I go in first?
No, you've just seen it.
I haven't seen it, honestly. I think 52.
See, initially I was like 47, and I was like, he's probably over 50.
I'm thinking through those films, I think I've seen him in, and he's got to be in his late 50s.
He looks like he's best part of 45
I want to go
to 47
56.
when he's in Expendables, and that's a good 6 years.
Yeah,
ago.
this is half the reason I'm thinking he's got to be his late 50s, because all the Expendable with the older generation, or...
Well, especially lads, I need some actual numbers
I
here.
want
5'2".
56.
5'2".
56.
You're going to split the difference.
53.
You're going to raise it with 60?
No, I don't think.
Senor Panas is closest by default, as he's only 50.
Oh.
I'm surprised.
I thought
When
it
the
was a
first
deceptive-
Expendables film, what's that? That must be 6 years ago now or something?
I can tell you exactly when it was.
Was it 6 years ago?
No.
7?
Nope.
Don't know.
I like how you said you can, you just won't.
9 years ago.
Is it a 2010er?
There was a massive, and I mean massive, billboard for the Expendables in Las Vegas when I was there.
Huh?
I was there nearly 9 years ago. And I was super excited for it. I was like, yeah, Expendables.
People shit the Expendables films.
First one was good.
Don't be going in there and just expecting you're going to get a cracking film. Let me get it right. Like a proper storyline.
Thinking man's
Yeah.
action movie.
I think they nailed
The premise
those
is
films.
that it's like all the old action heroes in a film
Yeah.
doing action.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
I want to know what happened to their
Nailed it!
Expendables concept.
Oh,
they were
God.
trying to do. Because I have such a hard time thinking of who you would cast for it, other than
We've
Ripley.
talked about this
Ronda
before.
Rousey.
Well, she's already in the Expendables, so that'd be the lead in, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Speaking of plastic surgery, I mean, Mickey Rourke. Because there was a point where
He needed to, though, because he got fucked up in boxing, didn't he? Mickey
He had
Rourke.
so much plastic surgery done that he was like,
Yeah.
you couldn't tell who he was, and then he managed to bring it back.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool. You kind of working it.
But you look at Mickey Rourke,
Then he carried on.
80s, absolute, heartthrob
was a
for the
heartthrob.
ladies or whatever, wasn't he?
he?
Decided to turn his back on
Yeah.
acting and become a boxer. Got
You're right.
absolutely mashed up,
Yeah, he looks.
didn't he? He got absolutely fucked up in boxing.
Did he?
Line
Yeah.
of hair.
Yeah, there's so much wrong with it. I don't.
So
Just look at it.
he really got beaten up.
Yeah, it's like the white mask that's just like completely plain, and it's like someone's just put that there and then painted its skin.
91 to 94.
God, that's creepy.
What, boxing? And then he had a lot of surgery to correct injuries and stuff.
Yeah, because round about the Expendables and Iron Man 2, he sort of managed to pull it back a bit.
Yeah, I think he looks alright in the Expendables.
So I was
Since then,
assumed
he's just got-
at that point he was just aged.
Because he was in, before Expendables, he was in, what did I say him in? But he was prosthetic up, he was in Sin City, wasn't he?
Yes,
But-
and he was
Not with his real face.
fucking fantastic in that.
Yeah. I like Sin City.
As far as a character an actor playing a role, he was fucking phenomenal in that.
Good film.
Rock's
Really
boxing career resulted in a notable physical change in the 1990s as his face needed reconstructive surgery to mend his injuries. His face was later called appallingly disfigured. In a 2009 interview,
I think he just
Rock
got
said
some
he had
bad
gone to the
work
wrong
done
guy
originally,
for his
didn't he?
surgery and that his plastic surgeon had left his features a mess.
But time he does the first Expendables film, he's, like you say,
Yeah,
he's
it's
looking
sort of-
alright.
He sort of brought it back, like The Wrestler and stuff. That's another good film.
Not seen
It
it.
is a really good film. I've only ever
It's
seen
like
it-
really
I've only ever seen it
acclaimed as well,
once,
isn't it?
It
It's a
proper.
hard film to watch.
Yeah,
Proper hard.
I think is that the film where Marissa Tomei flips the old.
I've not seen it, but I'd like to.
Yeah, like I say, I've only seen it once, but it was good, and it felt like it was an accurate portrayal of the wrestling industry.
Especially right at the back end where that sort of he's got that decision to make.
Yeah,
Yeah. And right at the beginning, where he went from being like the story is like a wrestler who was like top of his game, like 20 years later or something, and he's living in a van on like middle of nowhere sort of thing, and just going to these like local shows, getting paid basically nothing.
In early 2009, Rock developed a small feud with WWE wrestler Chris Jericho as part of a storyline. The storyline climaxed at WrestleMania 25.
Is this with him? Was this around the same time as he was doing that wrestler film? Then?
Yeah, so it was just after the wrestling.
Yeah.
Like Jericho's done a load of like podcasts and stuff where he says the idea was for Rock to have a match. So the idea was that them two were going to have a match, and then it got to like about 6 months out or something like that, and they said they couldn't get the insurance for him or something like that.
Probably because his acting
which is one of the reasons.
Taken back
Which is
off
one of the
or
reasons
something.
why the Rock can't wrestle anymore, because he's the
insurance.
The insurance just won't cover it.
Well, talking about insurance, I was watching Graham Norton last week, and Fassbender was on that, and they were asking like why he'd not done any acting for a while. So he's back in the X-Men film.
I always hear the name Michael Fassbender, and I just assume I thought Michael Fassbender was a director.
No, he's an Irish actor.
Is there a director called Fassbender?
Not that I've heard. But he
disappeared
disappeared off and they were like, where have you been?
Fassbenders.
And he was like, I've been a racing driver for the last 2 years. So why have you stopped making films? Because they absolutely won't let me like racing drive when I'm doing films. The insurance is ridiculous.
Speaking of which, have you seen the trailer for Ford versus Ferrari?
No.
Someone else was talking about this. Oh no, it was you. It was you earlier on.
No.
It looks fun. Christian Bale, Matt Damon.
I don't get it. What is it?
So there was a point where Ford decided that they were going to build
When they released the
a car.
GT40 to take on Ferrari at like Le Mans or whatever.
24 hour Le Mans. So they went to Carroll Shelby, and they were like, we want you to build us a car that's going to beat Ferrari in Le Mans 24 hour, because that sort of sets up a car company, a car, all that sort of stuff as being like the best in the world.
It's like because he'd already done like the AC Cobra and stuff, and be putting like the big Ford engines in them, and
it's very Rush.
I like Rush.
I've still never seen that.
Ooh.
I've got the DVD, but I've never watched it. I always wanted to watch it.
Since Nicky's no longer with us.
Well, they're both gone now, aren't they? So
yeah, well, I mean, Hunt's been gone a while.
a long time.
There's a couple of just beautiful moments in that film, like the slow-mo in the rain and stuff.
Oh no, I'll definitely watch that. I didn't know they made a thing. Anything with cars in, I'm all
Well,
over,
when we wrap this, I'll bang the trailer, because the trailer's really good. And there's a bit in the trailer where it takes one of the guys out in the car they've built. Amusing.
Who's in it? Bale and who? You say Bale?
Matt Damon.
Should have got that Goodwill Hunting guy.
Did it. Sorry. Well, I'll give you a good Matt Damon one to watch.
He's going to say underrated Matt Damon film. Born Identity.
Massively underrated.
No, I can't remember what it's called now. I've said this.
Good
It's something like
Hunting.
downscaling or something, or
Downsizing.
downsizing.
It's terrible. It's an
Have
awful
you-
film.
Oh, come on, just for the what?
Seriously,
what
saw
kind
the
of
trailer
fucking
for it. Thought the concept sounded really good. Watched it. All the best stuff happens in the first half an hour. Then you might as well just not bother watching the rest of the film. It was fucking shit.
I think
What kind of fuck you give me? I love that bit.
he's done some excellent
Yeah?
films, but he has
Oh,
done
I
some
thought it was-
ropey films for me as Matt
It
Damon.
was fucking shit.
Oh, I really
It was
enjoyed
really,
that
really
sizing
bad.
just for that one
Green
line.
Zone film he did.
That what?
Yeah, that was
Green
that
Green
was
Zone.
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
Is it either Iraq or
No,
Afghanistan war or
real
something like
sense.
that? Yeah, weird.
What was the one that he did where he had like half a head?
What?
You could see like his face, and then the rest of his head was like metallic. So he was like a cyborg type.
Elysium.
That's the one.
I started watching the start of that.
Watching the
I
first
couldn't get
time
into
was
it
like,
though.
didn't like it. Was like, I'm not a fan of this, and should have been, because it was like done by the same people that did District 9. Really like that film.
Never
it's the
watched
one where
it.
he's trying to get to the station
Yeah.
off the planet. I know
Watched
the
it.
one.
Watched it in time. Loved it.
I might go back
I've
and watch that. Actually.
It's
I've still never
entertaining.
watched- I've still not
crap.
watched
It's
The
not a
Martian
profoundly
yet.
great film, but it's.
Oh,
It's
you are missing out.
I read the book recently. A mate of mine was like, "Have you ever read the book?" And I was like, "Seen the film." He's like, "Read the book." He's like, you know the bit where he does like that little journey. It's like that's a third of the book. So there's like, so I read it. As far as movies go, that film is almost identical to the book.
I think it did a very
They've done a
good
really
job.
good job of being able to like have someone narrate, to say that he's on his own all the time.
Yeah.
The way that they do all the I'm talking to the hab.
Yeah, because
I'm going a bit crazy sometimes. I'm talking to myself.
you-
I'm talking to plants.
when you read the book, that's done in a different way because it's all done in journals.
Yeah,
And the conversation I was having with
but you
Sheriff-
can't translate that
So
to a
it's-
film though,
So
can
it's
you?
based on a true story.
Not as
Yeah.
easily.
The conversation I was having with Chev was, he was like, the problem you've got in the book is it's really scientific. Like in the movie, they really drum that down. They're like, oh, we're gonna, make plants from potatoes because you can understand that. But in the book, it gives you all of the science behind it, and at times you're a bit like, right.
Wow.
But as the book goes on, you lose that as the book goes on, and then it's more about like getting him home sort of thing. Whereas there was a point where he was just trying to survive.
Yeah.
But then there's that where it switches to him trying to get home.
He does some. There's some really good bits though where he's like, I've been looking into this and I've been looking into this and I've been looking into this, and basically I am a space pirate.
Yeah.
So if this is this, and this is this, and this is this,
Space pirate.
Space Pirate.
And then what
It
was
was
it like? He's like, oh, and I've been looking into this, and apparently, you've colonized or conquered a world, and you can grow things on it.
Yeah.
I've grown potatoes, and then he just turns to the camera. He's like, "In your face, Buzz Aldrin. In your face, Neil Armstrong." It's just really funny bits,
film,
and the soundtrack is incredible,
The whole
and the
thing.
fact that they're dissing the soundtrack all the way through, because he uses it
He
about
hates
like
the
say.
music.
Fucking hate disco. Come
hates
on,
the music
but the
all
soundtrack,
the
all the disco in there is amazing. It's a really really good film.
Just in looking in the stack down there, it reminded me of a film I've watched last week.
The Incredibles?
No.
Die Hard?
No.
Avengers?
No.
Solo?
No.
Jurassic World? Jurassic Park? 1, 2 and 3?
No.
I binged
Jurassic
the other
World:
day.
Fallen Kingdom. Do you
Oh.
know what? Don't understand what all the
Is that
annoyance
is that the
was about.
second one
The
Yeah.
the second
of the new
part
one?
of the new
the Chris
trilogy.
Pratt one?
It's
Yeah.
because...
I don't understand why everyone was so down on it.
I
was
only watched it on a ropey copy.
I had this
on the
conversation with my
internet.
brother, and James was like, "No, it was shit." I was like, "Why?" Like
So-
the concept of the film was just ridiculous.
I
I was
just
like,
found
well,
it
it
a
wasn't
bit
really.
boring.
I'll be honest, in comparison to the first, I don't think it was any worse.
I loved the first one.
The Jurassic World
I
is
actually
really
like the
good.
first one as well.
It shows you everything that it could be and all of that. The problem is, as soon as they did genetically engineered dinosaurs, they're just going to give us a big raptor, aren't they? And what did they give us? A
But-
big raptor.
But is this not the
That
point?
was it.
Is it like in theory
So-
they had to bring it into the 21st century
Yeah.
or whatever. So they
They
had
had to get away
Well,
from the
the
whole
combination
thing.
of
genetic
that.
engineering was obviously
Yeah.
the next logical step.
Yes.
And the combination of that
that
you have that
didn't
like
bother
hero
me.
moment where you're all waiting for it. You're all waiting for it, where the T-Rex comes in
Yeah.
and says, "They like that's an epic."
But there was bits about that
Heartwarming
that people
moment.
didn't like. In the sequel one, it's because here, they're on the island, they're doing an escape. And now it's all in a mansion for the rest of the film. Here, have 10 minutes of what you were thinking this would be. And now we're going to shit on that.
Are we into the second one?
Yes.
I've only half watched the
Basically,
second one.
90% of that film happens in a British estate mansion.
No, I think it is
Not-
in America.
Or,
Like Lara Croft the movie.
yeah. It all happens in this bloke's mansion. Doesn't happen on the island.
But
The bits-
I didn't mind that because if you think about it, the idea
Oh,
was
that's where he's got him in the cells at the bottom.
So the
and shit.
so
I have, yeah.
So the principle was the
And then they have to kill off the dude.
The island that's the island that like the Isla Nubla
Isla Nubla.
is basically an active volcano and it's going to erupt and shit's going to basically just go to pieces.
And they need to
But
save
the,
the
but the
dinosaurs.
dinosaurs can't get off the island. So they say there's like
There's
a
like-
there's
should
act-
they- should they let
them die,
activists
or
are
should
saying
Yeah.
dinosaurs they were extinct, but now we've brought them back to life.
They're
But they have the
endangered.
rights of
Yeah.
other animals that are endangered, so we save them. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So they end up taking them, and then get them off the island
Then they have that
With
weird
the-
auction thing.
with the
don't
idea
they?
that they're going to go to like a safe haven place. But the guy who's taking them to safe haven is a big lying dirty bastard,
And he's just selling them.
and he's just selling them off to
private
collectors.
Yeah.
As genetic stock that can be used to make
However,
weapons.
it all comes about that basically they just get released, and now dinosaurs are just in the wild. So I'm assuming that's where Jurassic World.
3.
I think the third one.
We all fucked you.
No, I think
Will
the third
come
one's...
into play.
First one, big raptor. Second one, little raptor. Dabble with the concept that little girl is a clone.
The first one wasn't a raptor, was it?
It was a raptor-based genome with a T-Rex and some other bits and pieces chucked in, cuttlefish and things.
Yeah.
It's big raptor. Second one is again, it was the Indoraptor.
Because isn't the idea that the T-Rex is like got the bulk, but the Rex has got the brain?
Whereas the fact with the T-Rex was that it had the T-Rex size, but obviously the T-Rex can only see movement.
Well,
so it let it down.
And the raptors are clever as well, aren't
so
they?
because the second one's moved to a slightly smaller raptor, but also introduced the concept that the little girl in it is a clone, I have a horrid feeling the third one is going to be a human-based concept.
You've absolutely ruined the end of that film for James.
No, that is established very early in the film.
Yeah.
No, it isn't.
If you didn't figure that out in the first 20 minutes,
the fact that the girl is a clone is not confirmed until right at the end.
It's not expressly confirmed at the end. If all fairness, if you hadn't figured it out in the first 20 minutes, I'm upset with you.
Didn't pick up on it at all.
I'm upset with you.
Oh well, now we've registered you upset.
I don't know how you would have picked up on it.
Based on his refusal to show the actual
extreme autism
picture of her mother,
what she looks like, never lets her see, explains how she died and his age and the obsession and then the care work things and his work with genetics. And while he's explaining the scenario with her, I wanted to explore other things and Richard didn't agree with it and we parted ways. Oh, you were dabbling with that child, weren't you?
I mean, you've got for us that there.
Nope.
Massive pedo.
Shall we end things there before we get ourselves into some sort of lawsuit?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the lawsuit started.
Spoilers are in this one, by the way.
Yeah, big time. Thanks, everyone.
Cheers.
Right.
Bye.
Bye. Get that trailer on.
That's you can.
So there you go then. What do you think of that? Nice to have Mr. Dench join us for a little BS. YouTube watchers, turn yourselves into YouTube subscribers. Drop us comments. Tell us how you're getting on. Tell us when you're going to come see us. Everybody should jump over to thecookiecast.com. Social media time, email time. Let us know if you or anybody you know has a specialist subject and they want to come on and discuss it on the podcast. Everybody's more than welcome. Drop us a line. Let us know the deal, and we'll get you booked in. So there we go. Another podcast done. Another week in the bag. Another week closer to whatever it is you're looking forward to. Until next time, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll see you then. Bye.